Supervolcanoes are one of the most destructive forces on the planet, but what do we really know about them? Hi, it's me, and this is my channel. And today we're going to be talking about supervolcano eruption, the truth about the myths. The Yellowstone supervolcano has been erupting periodically for the past 2 million years, making it one of the most active hotspots on Earth. It is also the site of the largest known supereruption in history. But what really happened here? And how did scientists come up with the term supervolcano? Volcanoes have been part of the Earth's system for billions of years. They occur when molten rock, ash and gases escape from a magma chamber deep within the Earth's crust through vents or fissures on the surface. Volcanic eruptions can vary greatly in size and intensity, from small explosions that release only small amounts of material to massive blasts that can travel hundreds of kilometers and bury entire cities under layers of ash. Some volcanoes are dormant, meaning they haven't erupted in a long time, but could erupt again in the future. Others are extinct, meaning they won't erupt again because their magma chamber has dried up. In general, volcanoes are classified according to their shape and size, as well as the type of eruption they produce. Cinder cones are small, steep-sided hills made of loose volcanic fragments such as ash, cinders, and bombs. They usually have a single vent or fissure and can reach heights of up to several hundred meters. Shield volcanoes are much larger and have a broad, gently sloping profile due to the low viscosity of their lava flows. Composite volcanoes, also known as stratovolcanoes, are the classic cone-shaped mountains that come to mind when one thinks of a volcano. They are formed by alternating layers of lava and ash and can be very tall and imposing. So what makes a volcano a supervolcano? There isn't a strict scientific definition of a supervolcano, but the term is generally used to describe volcanoes that have the potential to produce extremely large eruptions, typically with a Volcanic Explosivity Index, or VEI, of 8 or higher. The VEI is a scale used to quantify the explosivity of a volcanic eruption based on various factors such as the volume of material ejected, the height of the eruption column, and the area covered by the eruption. Eruptions with a VEI of 4 or less are considered small or minor. Those with a VEI of 5 or 6 are considered major, and those with a VEI of 7 or higher are considered catastrophic. To date, there have been 8 confirmed super-eruptions on Earth, all of which have occurred at least partly in what is now the contiguous United States. The first known super-eruption took place about 13 million years ago in what is now eastern California, where a magma chamber beneath the Long Valley Caldera erupted with a VEI of 8. The second known super-eruption occurred about 7.6 million years ago in what is now western New Mexico. This eruption, which took place at the Valles Caldera, had an even greater VEI of 9, making it one of the most powerful eruptions in Earth history. There were several super-eruptions between then and now, including one at Yellowstone's Mesa Falls caldera about 1.3 million years ago that had a VEI of 8. Scientists believe that the Yellowstone supervolcano will erupt again, but they are unsure when this will happen. They are also unsure what the consequences of such an eruption would be. However, they agree that it would be devastating. A supereruption at Yellowstone could have global consequences, causing widespread damage and loss of life. A supervolcano eruption happens when magma from deep within the Earth's mantle rises up through the crust and causes an explosion on the surface. The force of the explosion can be so great that it blasts ash and gases into the atmosphere, creating a massive cloud that can block out the sun and cause global climate change. The eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1991 is a more recent example of a supereruption, although it was not quite as powerful as the ones we're talking about here. It sent a huge amount of ash and gas into the atmosphere, which caused temperatures around the world to drop by a few tenths of a degree. Scientists say that the effects of a supereruption at Yellowstone would be much more significant. Yellowstone National Park is home to a variety of geothermal features, such as geysers, hot springs and fumaroles, which are all powered by the heat from the supervolcano. When the magma chamber below the park's surface heats groundwater, it creates steam, which then drives these features. In fact, Yellowstone's most famous feature, Old Faithful, is located directly above a magma chamber. So when the magma chamber gets too full, it can cause the pressure to rise and trigger an eruption. Yellowstone's last major eruption occurred about 640,000 years ago. It was a caldera-forming eruption that created the Yellowstone Caldera, also known as the Greater Yellowstone Supervolcano. The eruption produced a layer of ash that is now found as far away as Nevada and North Dakota. But the supervolcano didn't stop there. Between then and now, there have been two more smaller eruptions that formed overlapping calderas. The first of these was the Mesa Falls eruption, which created the Mesa Falls caldera. The second was the Lava Creek eruption, which created the Lava Creek Reservoir. Together, these three calderas form what is known as the Yellowstone Supervolcano. When people think of supervolcanoes, they often imagine a single large volcano that could erupt with catastrophic force. In reality, however, supervolcanoes are actually systems of multiple overlapping calderas that have formed over millions of years. These calderas are the result of magma chambers that have been filled and emptied several times, leaving behind vast depressions in the landscape. The largest of these calderas, the Yellowstone caldera, is about 43 by 28 miles across. It is now home to Yellowstone Lake, which fills the low area left by the ancient eruption. Yellowstone National Park is a popular tourist destination, known for its stunning natural beauty and abundant wildlife. The park receives over 4 million visitors each year who come to see its geysers, hot springs, waterfalls, and forests. But Yellowstone is also home to one of the most powerful forces in nature, a supervolcano. The potential threat posed by Yellowstone's supervolcano is a constant reminder of the awesome power of nature and the fragility of human civilization. Even though the chances of a super eruption occurring in our lifetime are incredibly small, the consequences of such an event would be so devastating that it is important for us to study and monitor the volcano closely. By understanding the history and behavior of Yellowstone and other supervolcanoes, we can better predict their future activity and take steps to mitigate the risks. It's easy to get caught up in the drama of a story like this and start to believe that the end of the world is nigh. However, it's important to remember that scientific predictions are just that, predictions. They are not certainties. In the case of Yellowstone, the scientific consensus is that there is no immediate danger of a super eruption. In fact, the U.S. Geological Survey, which monitors the volcano closely, has said that the chance of a major eruption in any given year is about 1 in 750,000. Even if a super eruption were to occur, it's not necessarily the end of the world as we know it. While the immediate area would obviously be devastated, the rest of the country and the world would likely go on. It's important to stay informed and prepared, but it's also important not to let fear and speculation consume us. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos on volcanoes, including the most active volcano in the world and the deadliest volcanic eruption in history. Thanks for watching.